Hi everyone, welcome to Hue Spotlight. Well, girls can rock, we know that. So today I have the anti-queens on Hue Spotlight. I want to welcome Emily and Valerie, and it's so nice to meet you girls, and yeah, it's so nice to see some rock and roll and some punk and so just some fun music from the anti-queens.
Thanks so much for having us.
Okay, the name, the anti-queens. Is there a story behind it, Emily?
A little bit. I mean, I was looking for something that would represent us in a way that, we kind of started from the bottom. We're really DIY. We haven't had a whole lot just like handed to us. We really had to work to get to where we are now. So it's basically just about, I guess, creating your own future, your own destiny, and with the help of all our friends and family and friends around us, just boosting us up. That's pretty much where it came from. Yeah.
How did you two get together? Valerie.
I'm in another band called Black Cat Attack, and my band was touring the US a lot between 2013 and 2015. And the Anti Queens was a band I think we'd crossed paths a couple times, but we played a few shows with them, got to talking, got along. We really liked them, and they were interested in coming to the US. And it's a little different than touring Canada because there's a lot of legal stuff. You have to get proper paperwork. It's a whole process. It can be quite expensive, and we hadn't really found any Canadian bands that wanted to commit to that and tour down there with us. The Anti Queens were like, "We'll come with you," and so I took them on their first U.S. tour, and before I was in the band, and that entire tour, my band, myself included, kept razzing them, saying, "Hey, you guys should get another guitar player," because they were a three-piece, and their songs were great, and they were heavy, and they were well-written songs, and every night we're like, "Man, these songs are so good. They just need more beef." So the entire time, we did heckle them. And later that summer, a couple weeks after we got home, Emily came to a show that my band was playing, and she said, I think we're going to find another guitar player. I think we're going to do it." And I was just like, "Ooh, can it be me?" And I kind of just barged in.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, you could look back and think that I set it all up, but I didn't. It was just circumstance that worked out in my favor.
oh, well, that's good. And the move was good for you, right, Emily?
Oh yeah, Valerie has just totally changed the game for the Anti Queens. Honestly, I feel with her we're just unstoppable. And I like to call myself Black Cat Attack's #1 fan. So
She is.
the fact that the singer of Black Cat Attack even wanted to play guitar for us, I was like fangirling. And yeah, I still am. So it's great.
She does. She still fangirls over my band. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes, but it's fine.
I think
It's all right though.
that happens
I
a
was
lot.
like fangirling over the Andy Queens though. It's like Emily says, when I said that I'll join the band, she called her bandmates and was like, "Oh my God, Valerie wants to play with us." But in my head, I'm like, "Oh my God, I get to play with the Andy Queens." It was kind of mutual, that our excitement.
And obviously, it still exists. So that's the beauty of it. Emily, you kind of alluded to the fact that everything has been done like on your own, no help, grind and grind. And we see and hear of it so much. Is it easier to do it now than it was back then? Or is it still hard, the whole grind and, get your music out there?
That's such a good question. It's gotten easier in some senses, but it's also gotten more complicated in some senses as well. I mean, back then when Valerie joined, we weren't signed to a label, so we didn't have help at that point. Everything was just kind of out of pocket. And now that we're on a label, we get touring grants, which makes life a lot easier. We're able to go a lot further, travel the world and stuff. So yeah, I think it's gotten easier, but there are some, I don't know, the more experience we get and the more like interesting situations we get ourselves into as well. So it really just depends. But generally speaking, I think it's gotten easier for us financially at least.
Aw, well, that's good. Valerie, question for you. Audience wise, mostly female, male, and the popularity of all female bands these days? Is it growing? Is it expanding?
Definitely, definitely expanding. Popularity of female-fronted music bands. That was weird. Popularity of female-fronted bands. We hate using that term, but sometimes that is the accurate way to describe something. It's definitely not a genre. We would never say we're a female-fronted band, but if we're speaking about, describing the band. Anyways, definitely lots more women that in bands. And I was just saying to Emily and a couple of my friends, it to me it's weird now when I go to a concert and I don't see a single woman on stage. That weirds me out now. Before it was like, oh, this is normal. And now, because we've met so many women and we've played with so many, and we just keep finding more and more women in bands and musicians, it just to me it's more weird when you don't see them, if I'm being honest, which is great because I've been in this industry for 20 years playing shows, and I can tell you that there's definitely more room being made for women in various facets of the industry. We even had a woman sound tech. Those are still rare, but we've had a couple. So that is progress for sure.
Oh, no, most definitely. Okay, so Emily, the new album, I guess, is this a different or is it gone off the anti-Queens kind of genre, or is it still the same, still the hard, gritty, grindy music that we come to know and love?
I think it's pretty up there with the rest of the songs. I mean, it's gritty, it's loud. There's lots of guitars, loud drums. I think we've expanded a lot though. We had like 4 years to work on this album because of the pandemic, so we got to add so many layers that I think normally we wouldn't have gotten to do because we've just been trying to like get it done and out there. But since we had so much time, we really took our time with it and got to add a lot of really cool things that I don't think we would have gotten to add if we were on a time limit. So I'm really proud of it. I think people are gonna love it. I think it's our best album to date. I can't wait.
I agree.
You agree, Valerie? Okay, so that's great. Doomed Again. It's a great, catchy tune, but the video is even more interesting. So, well, who can talk about that? Valerie, maybe?
I'll start.
You'll
I will
start.
say though that the video idea was all Emily. So Emily came up with the concept and she did what do you call it?
Treatment.
The treatment. She put together a video treatment and she really did a good job of communicating her ideas so we could help her implement them. And it's all DIY. That entire video is completely DIY. Like our bass player provided the cameras to film it. You know what I mean? And it's my other band's jam space, which Anti Queens actually we barge in and take over sometimes and practice there. And like it's our tour van, which doesn't really work for long distances anymore, but I'm glad that Van Zig got to make an appearance in the video. We made those costumes ourselves. We went and picked the fabric. We did all the measuring. It was crazy. It turned out so great. It's got so much personality in it. But yeah, that Emily's brainchild for sure.
And Doomed Again, Emily, is there another story behind the title of that song?
Oh, there's so many stories about the title of that song. Basically, the song is, well, Val originally sent me the guitar and like the bones of the song, and she titled it. I think you titled it "Doomed Again."
Yeah, it was just like a placeholder.
Yeah. And so I saw the title and I heard the song and I felt just really nostalgic over the guitar parts she had written, and it just took me back to like wanting to be in a band and like all the reasons why I started a band and joined a band in the first place. And then with that also came all of the trouble and mistakes and odd situations we've gotten ourselves into over the years as a band as well. And it's kind of like a running joke now that anytime something goes wrong in the band, which is pretty constant, we're always doomed again.
Uh,
For example, the night before our scheduled shoot, because we did have some friends helping us out, it was all coordinated. We had to have the jam space and everything. We had a blizzard the night before, and it's 2 towns over from where I live. So we go to the jam space, we go and we start setting up. We come downstairs to, I think we're just taking a break or whatever. Snow everywhere, and it's like, let's hope this doesn't affect anything. Thankfully, didn't too much. I don't think. I think we ended up leaving, setting up the night before early, just because we were worried about driving in the snow, and no one likes doing that.
no,
But and then we were up until 4 a.m. working on our ghost costumes the night before.
of course, of course. um, I'll, this is for both of you. If there's a budding young girl, teenager, musician, whatever, wants to maybe is thinking about starting a band, words of wisdom. Emily.
Oh, Nike, just do it. I don't know. Get your friends together. It's great to work with friends, people you trust, people that believe in you. Don't take no for an answer.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and yeah, just don't take no for an answer. That'd be mine.
Valerie, anything to add?
Honestly, every time I'm asked this question, I always say the same thing. Like, you have to go do it, and it's not going to happen for you. You have to do all the work, and it's hard, and there's a lot of sacrifice involved. So you just have to prepare yourself to really want to commit. And even if you're playing to two people at a basement dive bar venue that smells funny, do it, because all of us have to. And that's kind of a part of growing yourself as a musician and a performer. Remember, it's two separate things. You're a musician on one hand and you're a performer on the other, and you have to want to do both. It's not just being creative, it's also communicating that and expressing it in a way that's going to capture people. So always keep working on your songs. Always, even if it sounds stupid, just get your ideas out. Do everything. Exactly what Emily said. Just do it. Go out and do it. And like, go be awkward on stage. Go take some really bad photos. Every time you see something that you don't like, you know how to fix it next time. So it's like, you just constantly learn.
Oh.
Make sure you're happy.
Well, that is so important. Yes, and follow your dreams. Well, thanks so much, Emily and Valerie, for spending some time. The Anti-Queens, go see them, go get their album, and we are going to leave you now with Doomed Again.